everyone, welcome back to Let's Talk. I'm John, this is Dennis, and this is Matt. And today we're going to be talking about 2010's Brooklyn's Finest. Before we dive into that, if you are a fan of film reviews, 4K Blu-ray reviews, TV reviews, video game reviews sometimes, we do them all here on this channel, and nothing helps us out more than by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. So Brooklyn's Finest was released in 2010 and is directed by Antoine Fuqua, stars Wesley Snipes, Don Shield, Richard Gere, Ethan Hawke, and in some small roles, guys like Will Patton. So if you are a fan, just like us, definitely grab this. But we're going to talk about why we like this movie. And first up, Dennis, since the last time I saw this, before this recent rewatch, was with you.
Yeah, no, I remember watching this when it first came out, and I've watched it probably once a year since then, every year. Wow. Yeah, I really do love this film. There's just something about it. The stories of all the characters, I really like the linear storytelling. You know, you have the big main characters, each of them going on their own journey, and I just think it's told really well. It's obviously Brooklyn's Finest, so it's shot in Brooklyn. Being that we live in New York, we've all seen or been to Brooklyn, and I think it really captures that essence, the energy, you know, the real gritty nature of living in Brooklyn. I think it captures that really, really well, and the character work is phenomenal. I'm a big Ethan Hawke guy, and I think he kills it in his role in this film in particular. So I can't say enough positive things about this film.
Yeah, I had a great time. This is actually the first time. I'd actually just finished watching it a few minutes ago. I watched it on HBO. I don't have the Blu-ray, which I will probably be picking up or hoping for 4K. But like he said, it's not a well-known movie for some reason, or it just didn't do well, which is crazy to me because I had a great time. I thought it was an awesome movie. I was super into it, and I really think this deserves a 4K release, in my opinion. And it should be a well-known movie because it was great. You know, again, Ethan Hawke, it did kind of feel like Training Day, which was an awesome movie. With
Same director.
With him and Denzel. Okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, it felt like that. I love the dirty cop kind of movie like that, and it was an awesome movie. Great time.
Yeah, but Ethan Hawke's character, he's a dirty cop mainly out of necessity.
Right, yeah.
You know,
I mean, it makes sense for, like, spoilers for this movie. But
yeah, definitely. It's a 12-year-old movie.
He's basically killing all these gangbangers, drug dealers, and taking all the money from them to bring back to his family because he's got a lot of kids and they need to buy a bigger house, and he's not getting paid enough on the force, which is definitely still a problem today. This is why he needs the money, you know? He needs to get his family out of this situation. He wants to do better for his family, which is understandable.
Yeah, well, not to get even like political or anything, but like this story rings even more true nowadays. Just with anybody besides just cops, like having to afford a home. Mm-hmm. You know, it's hard. You can't. It's
especially
hard
in New York.
Yeah, so like definitely that's a story that rings true. And how desperate do you get? Like, you know, I can't imagine that level of desperateness. You know, and then you get on the other side of the spectrum, Richard Gere just going to retire. Like, you know, he's like just been going through the motions for all this time. He doesn't care anymore. That's why when he gets paired with young cops, he's just like, I'm done. Like, I'm out of here. Like, I feel like they just blew me off. And that scene where he retires, and you told me this is true, like, made me nauseous. Like, that's just how jobs treat people. Like, any job. Like, you know, that's it.
Just
You're
the
done.
body.
That's it. You're done. Give us your badge. I didn't know. You told me that was true.
Yeah, after you saw it, so when he retires, you know, he hands everything in, and they take his badge, and they just throw it in a pile of other badges. So I texted one of my friends who's current NYPD, and I asked him, is that real? You don't get to keep it and, you know, retire on it or anything? He said, nope, it gets recycled. And then in a few years, new rookies come on, and, you know, the badge number you have today, when you retire, could go to someone else. It's really just sums that up. And, you know, even like you said, if you take even the aspect of police out of it, we have people who, you have one guy who's really struggling to support his family. You have another guy who is sacrificing everything for his current job in Don Cheadle's role.
Yeah.
He sacrificed everything just to perform and get promotions and stuff, and they have never given him any promotions. And then you have Richard Gere, who has literally, he's at the end now, and he's realizes that none of it was worth it. And so we have people at all different phases, and if you, again, take the cop part out of it, apply it to any job, everyone goes through that. You have those phases of, I'm going to give it my all, and then you realize I'm not making enough money.
They're just squeezing everything out of you until there's nothing left. That's basically Will Patton. He starts making offers to him when he's finally fed up. Yep. That's it. That was probably the plan all along.
Yep.
Just squeeze Don Shield till you got nothing left, and and then give him something. And even at that point, he's too broken.
Yep.
as we see in the very end, he's breaking all the codes he would never have broken.
Yep.
It really, like, it's unbelievable. I really thought that, and I can't believe this movie, it should be talked about way more. I personally, and this might be the wrong opinion of you guys, I think it's better than Training Day.
I haven't seen Training Day in a long time. They're right there, 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other, in my opinion. They're both great movies.
Yeah, no, I think they're both really good. I think it's hard to put one above the other because they are very different. Training Day is much more like stylistic, and it's more. There's a lot less cop work, I guess, because Denzel's character is so loose cannon, and Ethan Hawke's learning on the job. This is much more like real. You feel the emotions. When Ethan Hawke, he's constantly calling that realtor and saying, "I got the money," and he hangs up the phone and he's pissed off because he doesn't have it, and those scenes you really feel. You're like, oh man. If you haven't been there, you probably will be there at some point.
Yeah.
This one just really hits home because even though every character is on their own story, they're all relatable. You get what they're all going through.
Yeah, watching it, I most related to Richard Gere's character because I felt that where you're just like, you're done. Like, you're fed up.
Get a lot of prostitutes?
No, that's not how I fix my problems, though. But you know what? They gave him the will to live in the end. He's like, I'm gonna save them.
I didn't. Speaking of the ending, you see Ethan Hawke's character get killed as he gets the money. Don Cheadle gets his promotion. He gets his guy, and then he gets killed on accident. And then the Richard Gere's character, he just saves the prostitutes.
It's him taking his life back.
Yeah.
It wasn't his life anymore, and he feel like he did something good after having years of just being the job just beating him down.
Right.
Gave him that will to live again. He felt lost.
I expected him to die though, just because they killed off the other two.
So did I originally when I first saw it. I thought the same thing. Which actually, I want to just say, it's a very stylistic movie in its own right. The one scene where Ethan Hawke goes in the end and he's in the apartment and you got Busta Rhymes playing in the background. I said it felt like he's going room to room to the beat of the song. And then, even the way the gunshots, it felt real. It felt gritty. It felt brutal.
Yeah. A lot of blood, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I absolutely agree. I think this was shot really well. I don't know why it's kind of an under the radar movie. The ending is very ironic. The two guys who give every second of their life to their job to try and better their life are the ones who end up dying. And the guy who gave up, he ends up being the hero. But then the ironic part of that, like you said, he's getting his life back. But it's almost like, in order for him to be a hero and actually make a difference, he had to leave the job. Yeah. Because at that point, he was
retired. Yeah.
So he wasn't even on the job anymore. He literally had to leave that stage of his life behind. And once he entered the new stage of retirement, then he does police work and saves the day.
Yeah. Right. That's it. That's when he finally hit the point. It's crazy, And I think it's a well done screenplay. It really is, in my opinion, and I'm sure in your opinion, and in your opinion, we all
great movie.
Just enjoyed it overall. Before we give our final scores on the movie, just want to talk about the Blu-ray. This is the only Blu-ray out for it. I bought it for $8.99, and you see it says Blu-ray digital copy. This is such an old Blu-ray. That digital copy is a disc, so that's very old. And
not so digital.
I would hope that maybe one day, maybe it'll get a 4K Blu-ray release, because the Blu-ray, I was talking to Matt because I got here when he was watching the HBO stream. I'm like, wow, the HBO stream looks better than the Blu-ray did.
Which is not usually the case.
No, usually the Blu-ray, it's just an old Blu-ray. It's still pretty good. It's the best option I think you have, unless you have HBO Max, which looked really good on there. But, pretty bare bones Blu-ray here. Just wanted to bring it up real quick. And want to give you guys our final score for this movie, because I'm actually going to go pretty high and give it I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. When I first watched it 2 weeks ago, I was like, wow, I can't wait to watch it again. I almost rewatched it again. I finished the end with Matt when I got here. It's great. It's a great movie. I love it. I really think, if you haven't seen it, it's one of Antoine Fuqua's best, in my opinion. It's right up there with Training Day if you're a fan of that.
Yeah, I have to agree. I'm going to go 9 out of 10.
No.
I really do love it, and, it never, gets bad. It never gets old. I've watched it, like I said, probably once a year, every year since it's come out.
Wow.
And I've not once watched it and gone, I don't really need to. Every time it holds my attention. The story's phenomenal. It's just all around awesome.
Yeah. Again, I think I might mirror them. I had a great time with it. This is my first time, but I think it's going to go into the rotation. I'm definitely going to watch it a few more times. And, I guess 9 out of 10 for me as well.
All right, so we'll just give it a 9 out of 10 across the board. All right, great job, guys. Finally, one we all really enjoyed. You know, it's always nice when that
I
happens.
wish I watched this instead of Empty Man.
Well, just remember you experienced the Empty Man for the first time. Just don't forget that. That's in another video. Check it out. It's right there.
Terrible movie.
But anyway, guys, thanks for joining us on another episode of Let's Talk. We really appreciate your support, and nothing helps us out more than by sharing, subscribing, and you telling all your friends.